Smart homes have a hidden cost most users never calculate: the constant power draw of every connected device. Always on Wi-Fi, processors waiting for commands, sensors monitoring 24/7. According to a 2024 Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory study, the average smart home with 20-plus devices uses 140 kilowatt-hours per year just for IoT standby. That's $21 to $30 annually before any device actually does anything. Let me start with the components. Smart speakers like Echo and HomePod draw 2 to 4 watts at idle. Multiply by 5 speakers in a typical smart home, that's 10 to 20 watts continuous. Over a year, 88 to 175 kilowatt-hours just for speakers waiting to hear wake words. $13 to $26 per year on speakers alone. Smart bulbs are the next layer. An LED smart bulb in standby mode draws 0.5 to 1.5 watts even when off, just to maintain Wi-Fi or Zigbee connection. 20 smart bulbs throughout a home, that's 10 to 30 watts continuous. Annual standby cost, $14 to $40. The bulbs are saving energy when on versus traditional, but the standby cost partially offsets the savings. Here's the catch. Cheaper smart bulbs often have higher standby draw. The Wiz and Sangled budget bulbs measured at 1.3 watts standby in 2024 iFixit testing, while the Hue and Nanoleaf premium bulbs measured at 0.6. The cheap bulbs save money on purchase, lose money on standby. Over the bulb's lifetime, the savings often even out. Smart hubs and bridges. The SmartThings station draws 4 to 6 watts continuously. The Acura M3 hub draws 2 to 3 watts. Home Assistant on a Raspberry Pi 4 draws 3 to 5 watts. The Apple TV at idle draws 6 to 9 watts. Most homes have at least one of these running 24/7. Add 15 to 30 kilowatt-hours per year per device. Smart cameras are the worst offenders for power. A typical Wi-Fi smart camera draws 3 to 7 watts continuously. With night vision active, 6 to 12 watts. 5 smart cameras at 5 watts average is 25 watts continuous, 219 kilowatt-hours per year, $33 to $50 annually. Cameras dominate smart home power budgets. Smart plugs are the lightest. Most modern smart plugs draw 0.5 to 1 watt. Even with 20 smart plugs in a home, total continuous draw is 10 to 20 watts. $14 to $30 annually. The least power-hungry smart device category. Buy as many as you need without worrying about adding to your bill significantly. Now the actual home calculation. 20 smart bulbs at 1 watt average, 20 watts. 8 smart plugs at 0.7 watts, 6 watts. 5 Wi-Fi smart cameras at 5 watts, 25 watts. 3 smart speakers at 3 watts, 9 watts. 1 smart hub at 4 watts. Internet router and modem 20 watts. Total continuous draw, 84 watts. That's 736 kilowatt-hours per year. At an average U.S. electricity rate of 15 cents per kilowatt-hour, that's $110 per year. In high-cost states like California, Hawaii, or New York at 25 to 30 cents per kilowatt-hour, the same setup costs $185 to $210 per year. The location dependency is significant. But the ROI looks different when you count the savings. The same smart home that costs $110 per year in standby also delivers savings. Smart thermostat at $160 annually. Smart plugs eliminating vampire power, $80. Smart blinds reducing cooling, $50. Total savings around $290. Net positive of $180 per year, even after standby. Now let's discuss reduction strategies. Strategy 1: Audit your devices. Use a kilowatt meter at $15 or a smart plug with energy monitoring to measure each smart device's actual consumption. The numbers in this video are averages. Your specific devices may be twice as efficient or twice as wasteful. Knowing the actual draw enables specific decisions. Strategy 2. Eliminate redundant smart speakers. Many homes have an Echo, a HomePod, and a Google Nest in the same room. Each draws 3 to 4 watts continuously. Pick one ecosystem and remove the others. The convenience of having multiple voice assistants rarely justifies the ongoing cost. Strategy 3. Replace Wi-Fi smart devices with mesh protocol versions where possible. A Zigbee or Thread smart bulb draws roughly the same standby power as Wi-Fi, but the network overhead is lower because each device doesn't need to maintain a Wi-Fi handshake. The savings are smaller per device but compound across many devices. Strategy 4. Schedule downtime for cameras. Indoor cameras don't need to be on 24 hours a day in many situations. Set them to active only when nobody is home, or only at night. Several smart camera platforms support time-based or location-based privacy modes. Even cutting active time by 50% saves a noticeable percentage of camera power consumption. Strategy 5. Replace older smart hubs and devices. The 5th generation Echo Dot draws less than half the power of the 3rd generation. The new Hue Bridge draws less than the older one. As smart home technology matures, efficiency improves. A device older than 5 years is often worth replacing on energy savings alone, especially for always-on hubs. Strategy 6. Consolidate hubs. Running both a SmartThings station and a separate Hue Bridge and a separate Acura hub adds up to 10 plus watts of always-on power. Consolidating to a single multi-protocol hub like SmartThings or Home Assistant cuts this in half. The migration takes time, but the long-term efficiency gain is real. Solar offset. If you have solar panels, the smart home standby cost is much less significant because much of the daytime draw is offset by your own production. The nighttime portion still pulls from the grid or battery, but the round-trip cost is roughly half what a solar-less home pays. Smart home and solar are mutually reinforcing investments. In my own setup, I measured every always-on device with energy monitoring smart plugs and a Sense whole home monitor. The total continuous draw came in at 63 watts. 552 kilowatt hours per year. About $83 annually at my rate. Lower than the average because I optimized aggressively after measuring. What surprised me? The Wi-Fi mesh router I use, an Aero 6 Pro 3-pack, drew 36 watts continuously. 315 kilowatt hours per year just for Wi-Fi infrastructure. About $47 at my rate. Replacing with a more efficient pair of wired access points cut this to 15 watts and saved $25 annually. The trade-off matrix. Reducing smart home power consumption sometimes reduces functionality. Cameras that are scheduled off can miss events. Cheaper ecosystems with less always-on overhead may have weaker automation. A Home Assistant on a Raspberry Pi 4 uses less power than a Home Assistant Yellow but has more failure modes. Pick your trade-offs deliberately, not by default. Specific high-efficiency picks for 2026. The Acura P3 motion sensor at 0.1 watt standby. The Tapo P125M plug at 0.5 watts. The Apple HomePod Mini at 2 watts. The Hue Hub at 1.5 watts. Reolink Argus 4 cameras with solar panels at 2 watts effective grid draw. Building around these starts your home with low overhead. Specific high consumption picks to avoid or supplement with. Older Ring stick-up cams at 6 to 8 watts. Older Samsung TVs that wake networks even at standby, 4 to 7 watts. Older Echo Show series with always-on screens at 6 to 10 watts. Replace these with newer generations or supplement with smart plugs that turn them fully off when not needed. Insurance for the long haul. Track your smart home electricity usage quarterly. Use the Sense or Emporia View or just monthly utility comparisons. Trends matter more than absolute numbers. If your standby creep is increasing year over year, you're adding devices faster than you're optimizing existing ones. Awareness alone keeps the cost in check. What about smart appliances? A smart refrigerator draws roughly the same power as a non-smart refrigerator. The smart features add maybe 1 to 2 watts. A smart oven adds 3 to 5 watts in standby for the connectivity module. A smart washing machine adds 1 to 2 watts. The added consumption is small relative to the base appliance draw. Final framing. A typical smart home adds about 80 to 100 kilowatt hours per year over a non-smart home, costing $12 to $30 annually depending on your rate. The savings from smart automation can offset this several times over for most households. The investment is generally net positive but worth measuring rather than assuming. Subscribe to Espacio Intelligent and hit the bell. Next week's setup goes deeper into smart irrigation systems and how they save water in drought-prone areas like California, Texas, and Arizona. Drop a comment with your monthly electric bill, and I will help identify the highest impact smart home optimizations for your situation.